Hi girls, I want to use this video to go over the worksheets 1 and 2 for significant figures. Here we go. So when we do significant figures, we know that all non-zeros are significant. So 376 has 3 sig figs, right? 24,070. This zero is a trapped zero, so it is significant. This is a trailing zero, and it is in front of us implied decimal point, not an actual decimal point. So this zero does not count. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 sig figs. 0.002, non-zero figures are significant, and 0.00, which are the leading zeros, and they are not significant. So this one has 1 sig fig. 0.0120, the first two are leading zeros, so they don't count. 1 and 2 are non-zero, so they count. This last zero, it applies the rule that it is on the right side of this non-zero numbers and also on the right side of the decimal point. So this one is significant. Therefore, we have 3 sig figs. 4506, this zero is trapped zero, so we have 4 sig figs. 102.0. These two are significant. This zero is a trapped zero, and it's significant. This last trailing zero is on the right side of the decimal point, and on the right side of this non-zero number. So it's also significant. So we have 4 sig figs. 0.0102, leading zeros are not, trap zero, yes, so it has 3. 24,000 with this dot, with this actual decimal point. So this one, all the zeros are significant because of this decimal point. So there are 4 sig figs. This one's fine. Okay. Next page. Rounding to 2 sig figs. We talked about that when we have a specific number of sig figs we need to do, that we need to figure out which one is the second sig fig, right? So, and we count from the left to right. So the 2 sig fig for 27.50, it would be at this 7, right? There's the decimal point. I don't want to cover it. So we're looking at the digit right after it, which is a 5, which is more than 4. So we round up, right? So it would be 28. So this 24,100, 2 sig fig will be right at this 10,000's place. So we look at the number behind it, and it's less than 4, so we don't round up. It will be 24 instead of 25, right? So it's 24. We're not rounding the next digit up, but we can't leave it as 24. It used to be 24,100, right? So we need to place all these things with 0, with this placement 0. So now it's 24,000. So 2,440, right? I do my line after the second sig fig. I look at the third digit. It's 4, so I do not round up. So I will do 27. And then I need to put the placement 0, make it 2,700. And now for 3,970, I draw a line after the second digit. I look at the third digit, which is higher than 4. So I will round up, right? When I round up, this 9 at the thousandth place will become a 0, right? Because I will put a 1 on the, no, 9 is at the hundredth place. So 3,000 will become 4,000 here, right? But do I have 2 sig fig in 4,000? The answer is no, right? Therefore, how do I represent it? Because I do need two sig fig in my answer. The way is I need to use scientific notation. So it will be 4.0 times 10 to the, how many places did I move my decimal place? 1, 2, 3, 10 to the third power. And this 4.0 has two sig figs. So this 4.0 times 10 to the third power is my final answer. It's fine. This one's fine. So a little more. Determine the number of significant figures for the following questions. Okay, so 12.05. This 0 is trapped. We're gonna go over this a little faster for the simple ones. Okay. 1700, these two zeros are in front of an implied decimal point, so they do not count as significant. So I have two sig figs. All these three zeros are leading zeros, so they do not count as significant. You have two sig figs here. Okay, this is 100.00, right? We did this example in class. So these two zeros are after the decimal point and on the right side and after the non-zero numbers. So they are significant. And these zeros are in front of a decimal point. They are significant. So total we have 5 here. Next one, the leading zeros don't count. The trapping zero, yes. So we have 4. 252.8, they're all non-zero digits, so they are all significant. 640, this 0 is in front of an implied decimal point, so it doesn't count. There are two significant figures. 200.0, all these zeros are significant, just like this example, right? So we have 4 sig figs. 3200, so this trailing zeros doesn't have the actual decimal point, just like this question, right? There are two significant figures. Oh, now we have scientific notation. We talked about how we're looking at this number in front of the power to determine the significant figures. So this one, 9.8, will have two sig figs. And this one, 9.80, this 0 is after the decimal point and after a non-zero number, so it is significant. So there are 3 sig figs. 500 with the actual decimal point, all significant. Okay, this I only talk. Round each of the following to the number of sig figs required, right? So to 3 sig figs, we know all these zeros are leading zeros, so they don't count as significant. So this is 989 is my 3 digit, and I look at the digit after it, which is a 9, so I need to round up. So I will have 9 plus 1 become 10, 8 plus 1 becomes 9, and this 9 stays as 9. But I can't round 0.0009898 to 990, right? They're just too off. They need to have the same digits. So I need to put the placement 0 in front of it as the original one, right? All the leading zeros. So it will be 0.000990. In this case, because we need 3 sig figs, and we need to check our answer. Does it have 3 sig fig? All the leading zeros don't count, and this 0, it's good. So it's 3 sig figs. This is the correct answer, but if you want to change to significant figures, you can, which will be, right, it needs to be between 9 to 10, so 9.9. Remember, you need to have the 0 here, so you have 3 sig figs, right? And then it's times 10 to the what power? So if we move the decimal place from all the way here to 1, 2, 3, 4, we move the 4 places to the right. So we make a small number bigger. So now I need to make it back to small, right? So it'll be minus 5. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry. Minus 4. Okay. Next one to 2 sig figs. So 1 and 0 here. I will draw my line here. I look at the third digit, which is a 3, and it's less than 4, so I'm not rounding it up. I have 10. And then I need to put the placement zeros down. But again, this is 1 sig fig, right? Which we're required to have 2. So I have to. This one, I have to. This one, optional. I have to change it to sig fig, which I can only represent it using scientific notation, which will be 1.0 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3. I'm changing a big number to small, so now I have to make it big again. Does that make sense? So now my final answer, it has 2 sig fig. Next one. Okay, this long number to 2 sig figs. So I need to draw a line after my second sig fig. Look at the third one. Don't forget there's a decimal point. So 4 doesn't go up. So I'll keep it as 82. Is that right? No, I need to put the placement 0 down. Do I put the dot and 0, 0, 0, 0 behind it? The answer is no, I don't need all these zeros because now how many sig figs do we have now? We have 82, 2 sig figs, and all the zeros are significant now, right? So this one has 4 plus 3, 7 sig fig, which is not right. I need 2 sig figs. So I need to do 82, 0. Sorry, 820. Okay, so this one has 2 sig figs and it has the number. Oh, girls, what am I forgetting? I think I'm forgetting all the units. Okay, do you mind if I go back, change them at the meter, at the gram, at the second? Sorry, even for last, about this. Okay, remember to bring your unit down. Okay, so next one for 3 sig figs, 4, 7, 8, draw a line. 2 is less than 4, so I don't round up. 4, 7, 4, 8, that would be 0. Placement 0, right? 4 of them. This is correct. And if optional, just as a practice, you want scientific notation, 7.48 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 power, right? It was a big number, and you change it to a smaller number, so you need to times a big number to change it big. Okay, we do this. Okay, 6 sig figures. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'll draw a line here. And this 8, I need to round up. So I have my placement 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 instead of 7. I have 8 liters. I forgot the meter again. Sorry, girls. I know that because Dr. Guo is making all the mistakes without the unit. So you will all remember this, right? At the unit. Oh, to 1 sig fig. That's interesting. So I have a 9 here. And I look the one behind it, and it's a 4, so I don't round up. So 9 stays as 9. And I put all the placement zeros in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 milliliter. Yay, Dr. Guo remembered to put the units. Optional, right? It's not necessary to change to scientific notation. Do you do 9.0? No. You just leave it as 9 because it's 1 sig fig. 9.0, we have 2 sig figs, right? 9 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7th power milliliter.